After Momoshiki was defeated by the hands of Sasuke, Naruto, and Boruto landing the finishing blow, in the afterlife, Momoshiki gave Boruto a prophecy. Be aware, those blue eyes shall eventually take everything from you. These words spoken by Momoshiki kept the Boruto fandom in a chokehold for years, having to speculate and wondering, when will Boruto lose everything? When will this dark future take hold of our MC's life? After that generational run from chapter 77 all the way up to chapter 80, Momoshiki's ominous words came in fruition, during the events of Ida releasing omnipotence to switch Kawaki's life with Boruto's life, and making Boruto a traitor of the Leaf Village and the murderer of his father. Boruto was forced to become a rogue ninja, leaving behind everything: his friends, his family, and his parents in the hands of a madman, his own brother Kawaki. So we all expected that to be Boruto losing everything. We were sadly mistaken. The Boruto series will continue to get darker and darker, and Boruto, unfortunately, is going to continue to go through it. This was confirmed in the most recent interview in France by Kishimoto and Ikemoto sensei. In this interview, Kishimoto was cosplaying as Momoshiki and said Boruto will continue to lose everything. Also found out that Kishimoto has been attempting to kill multiple characters within the Boruto series, but Ikemoto has been stopping it. Just when we thought things couldn't get any worse for Boruto, it looks like it's about to get way worse, which leads us to the topics that we're going to discuss today. Today we're going to talk about Kawaki's conclusion and how he will die at the end of this series, and the fate of Boruto. See, the series can go two ways. Boruto will die in the end, or Boruto will continue to live and everybody will forget who he is. But just let me explain. No, I'm about to talk a bunch of nonsense, but just let me cook. Multiple factors that play into Kawaki's character, and a lot of gems were left in this interview that will explain the route Kawaki will eventually walk down, and why I honestly believe Kawaki will die at the end of the series, because he will be too irredeemable to be allowed to live. There are three major factors that come into play when it comes to Kawaki's conclusion. First two come from the interview statements by Ikemoto, and the last one is about how 10 Directions completely changes the perspective of the events of chapter 1 or episode 1. The first part comes from Ikemoto stating that he wants his antagonist characters to be actual villains, the complete opposite of the villains and antagonists from Naruto Part 1 and Naruto Shippuden. In Naruto Part 1 and Naruto Shippuden, a lot of the villains, you can argue, were actually good people that were victims of the shinobi world. But since we're in a time of peace, Ikemoto's going down the route where his final villains or his antagonists are all actual monsters. They're villains, they're disgusting and irredeemable people. This lets the audience know that when Kawaki finally steps into the role of the final villain of the series, he will completely step into the role of an evil villain, a character similar to Orochimaru. Kawaki's character will become worse and worse, and it's kinda obvious we're already walking down this path. If Ikemoto is staying true to his word, Kawaki isn't going to be that sad character that people are going to feel bad for at the end, or essentially root for characters like Nagato or Sasuke or Obito. Kawaki is going to become evil for the sake of being evil, and there's going to be nothing anybody can do because he's so powerful. And that leads us to the second statement from this interview, where Kishimoto said Kawaki has a very big character development moment that's coming, and that character development moment is going to take us to the Kawaki we see in chapter 1 episode 1, where he says the age of shinobi is over. But I want us to stay here for a little bit, because that statement is very important, because so much has changed. What do you mean so much has changed, Tusai? If you guys remember, Kadachi was the original writer of the Boruto series. The first couple volumes of the Boruto series, Kadachi wrote the Secret Ninja columns, where he talked about the economic instability of the shinobi world since Naruto became the Hokage and brought back world peace. Shinobis were treated as weapons, and without war, it makes no sense to have shinobi around, and they were consuming so much food and taking up so much space that it was causing a huge ripple effect to the economy of the shinobi world. So us as a fandom, we all kind of speculated this would be the main reason for Kawaki to destroy the shinobi world, that people are going to eventually rebel against Naruto Uzumaki and put his life in danger. These were old theories, but all of that has changed now. Since the introduction of omnipotence, the god Shibai, and the power like 10 directions, we're on a whole different level and a whole different path. As I stated multiple times on this channel, one of the major themes of the Naruto franchise is fate versus destiny. And now with the introductions of the power of 10 directions, and we know there's multiple timelines, it's not a stretch to admit that either Jura or Kawaki, or both characters at the same time, are going to learn that planet Earth and the world of shinobi was never supposed to exist. Planet Earth was supposed to be destroyed and harvested as a chakra fruit. But since Kaguya fell in love and she had a family, the plans of Earth were shattered. As Kawaki learns the truth about the shinobi world, he will take things into his own hands, which leads us to episode 1, chapter 1, where he decides the age of the shinobi is over and he needs to destroy the shinobi to help create a world where Naruto can be safe. Because as long as the shinobi exists, planet Earth will continue to be in danger. And if it continues to be in danger, Naruto can never be safe. That's the driving factor for Kawaki's existence. This leads us back to episode 1 or chapter 1, the first couple events where we see Kawaki versus Boruto. Boruto stating, "Was this the only possible outcome?" is so much deeper than we originally thought it would be. Shout out to chapter 13. It's obvious that Jura is the arch villain, the character that's attempting to destroy planet Earth, and Boruto and Kawaki will have no choice but to join forces alongside with Code and the rest of their friends to defeat this threat. The only issue is Kawaki is going to betray Boruto. You see, after Jura is defeated, Kawaki's going to consume the Thorn Soul, and that's going to give him the power to be undefeatable. And he's going to carry out his own mission of destroying the shinobi world. In this arc where Boruto and Kawaki finally team up, Boruto's finally going to feel solace that Kawaki has finally turned over a new leaf, and he sees the bigger picture. But right when Boruto lets his guard down, Kawaki's going to strike and destroy the Leaf Village and multiple other villages to complete his newfound goal. This is going to mentally break Boruto. So when Boruto says, "Is this the only possible outcome?" Boruto's finally going to accept that no matter what he does, the Earth will continue to be in danger, and the only way to keep the planet Earth safe, he's going to have to eliminate the threat being his brother Kawaki. Boruto will have no choice but to kill him. And it makes sense when you think about what Kishimoto said and what Kadachi said in the past, that the Boruto series will get darker and darker. Right now, Boruto has a positive mindset that he will be able to knock some sense into Kawaki, kind of like Naruto versus Sasuke. But just imagine if Sasuke won the second fight and Naruto needed to heal, and Sasuke went out his way and assassinated the 5 Kage and started to take over the shinobi world. The third and final battle of Naruto versus Sasuke, Naruto will realize he will have no choice but to kill his friend, and this is similar to what's going to happen in Boruto versus Kawaki. Let's move on to Boruto's conclusion, because I'm more invested in how his character arc is going to end. And there's only 2 routes they can go with Boruto's character, and a lot of people are not going to like the second one. The option is omnipotence will not be reversed, Boruto will save the world, but everyone will forget all the courageous things he did to protect and save the world. He'll go down in history as the traitor / rogue ninja instead of the hero, and the only people that will keep his name alive is Sumire, Sarada, and his family. If Ikemoto goes down this route, Boruto's conclusion will be similar to a character from one of my favorite series called Zelda. See, since the introduction of chapter 13, Boruto is kind of following the same path as The Legend of Zelda. There are multiple timelines that you can walk down, and every game follows within 3 timelines. But we're going to focus on Link's child timeline because it's very similar to what might happen with Boruto's character. In the child timeline, there's a game called the Ocarina of Time, where Link in the first half of the game gets everything he needs to save Zelda, but he's tricked by Gandalf. Gandalf then locks him and seals him in the Temple of Time, and Link becomes an adult through a time skip. After winning the game, Zelda sends Link back into the past so he can relive his childhood. By her sending Link back in the past, everybody forgets all the courageous acts that he did as an adult. Nobody remembers Link as a hero or a person saving anyone. Taking us to the Majora's Mask game, where Link now is searching for a long-lost friend from the original first game, Ocarina of Time. This game is important because Link learns the Song of Healing, and this song is very important, so just remember this song. The song is important because in the Twilight Princess game, you meet a character that's shaped like a wolf but can transform into a human, just like Link in the game. When you're introduced to a character, it's howling the Song of Healing. This Song of Healing comes from the Majora's Mask game, and this confirms that the hero shard was Link from the child timeline after he leaves the town of Termina. Nobody knows if Link has a family or did the spirit of the hero just transfer to the main protagonist in the Twilight Princess game. We come to understand that the shard character was filled with grief and regret that nobody remembered who they were. And in the child's timeline, Link is also right-handed, just like this character. This character will assist and teach you different moves, but at the end of the day, that character is Link from the child timeline after he leaves the town of Termina in the Majora's Mask. This is a similar route they can go down when it comes to Boruto. Boruto leaves and nobody remembers who he is. Boruto will essentially take the role of Toneri, staying on the moon and watching over the earth and making sure no more Suzuki clan members come to Earth. Even in this scenario, Boruto doesn't lose everything, because on planet Earth we still have Sarada, Sumire, Mitsuki, eventually Hima, and Naruto and Hinata that will continue to remember and keep Boruto's name alive. The second option of Boruto dying is the only one that makes sense. Hear me out. As long as Boruto continues to live, the soul of the shinobi will feel his resolve and continue to help him move forward. Boruto will simply just adopt the mindset of Sasuke Uchiha. The only way to make Boruto lose everything is for Boruto to lose his life, and it's already written. At the end of the day, this is all speculation. None of this is true or confirmed yet. No matter what direction this series goes down, we will finally get the answer to the one question stated by Tonori in episode 34. Boruto, with destiny as your opponent, how would you fight to the bitter end? As always, thank you for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.